In this video I'm going to discuss the cross product of two vectors a and b. So I have vector a 2i plus k. If I look at my diagram here, I've printed a bit of isometric graph paper. So the x-axis here, the y-axis in the usual sense, and the z-axis coming at right angles to these two. It takes a little bit of imagination to see this on the page. So 2i, so that's two steps, 0 in the j direction, so not up or down, and 1 step in the k direction is 1 step forwards here. So vector A, if you like, is laying in a horizontal plane defined by the x and the z axis. Vector B is 3i plus j, so 3i, 3 steps along the x-axis, 1 step in the y direction, the positive y direction. Vector B is in a vertical plane defined by the x and the y axis. So the cross product of these vectors, A cross B, now A is 2i plus k crossed with 3i plus j. So I'm going to use FOIL. 2i times 2i. 2 times 3 is 6. I cross I. We'll come to that in a moment. Plus 2i cross, so it's 2i cross j. Then I have 3k cross, now the order is very important. 1 times 3 is 3. And it's k cross I. And lastly I have 1 times 1 is 1, just running out of room, k cross j, cross j. Now you might have learned a thing called the right hand rule, but there's a much easier way to remember this. If we think of vector I, vector k, and vector j, messed that up, that should be a j in the middle, I, j and k. And we think of this in a cycle, then I cross j gives k. J cross k gives I. We just work around. If we're going in the direction of the arrows, the answer is positive. If we end up going against the arrows, the answer is negative. So let's see how this works. Our first one is I cross I. Now, a vector crossed with itself is 0, because by definition a cross product must be vectors which are at right angles to each other. So the first term is nothing. 2, I cross j. So I cross j is k. That's really the same as 2k. 3k cross I. K cross I gives j. So this one is really 3k plus 3k. And last one is k cross j. K cross j, we're going against the arrows, that'll be negative I. So this last one is really negative I. Writing them in order then, I'd have negative I plus ij was k. I think I wrote that down wrong, didn't I? I'm making so many mistakes in this video. So ij is k, ki is j. That one should have been the j. So we have negative I plus 3j plus 2k. That's our vector cross product. Marking it on the diagram, starting from the origin, negative I would be 1 step along the x-axis in the reverse direction. 3j, 1, 2, 3 steps upwards, and 2k is 2 steps forwards, 2k is here. So our cross product vector A cross B. Now, as you've probably learned, the vectors A and B define a plane, and the cross product will be a vector which is at right angles to the plane that contains A and B. it'll be given by the direction of a right-hand rule. If A turns towards B in a right-hand sense, then vector A cross B, so your fingers of your right hand curling like A towards B, and your thumb would then point in the direction of the cross product. So apart from a couple of little mistakes, that's how you do a cross product. If you have any more than two components, I'd recommend using the determinant method, which is the subject of a different video.